You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. And on hoaxes, time and time and time again. And as they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it. See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations.
Well, that was Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth defending himself earlier this week after a report that he shared war plans with his wife and brother in a second group chat on Signal. And just last night, the Washington Post reporting that the secretary had downloaded the program to a computer in his office. Joining us now is Diana Shaw with Wiley Law and a former Inspector General for the State Department. Diana, thanks for being here. Let's start with just what is going on with the actual investigation, because we know the acting Inspector General is looking into this. I've heard it called an investigation. I've also heard it called an evaluation. Does that language actually matter here?
It absolutely does. The distinction is quite important. An investigation typically has some form of criminal or civil implications. An evaluation is completely different. It would not have any kind of criminal or civil implications and would typically be focused on understanding the circumstances here and looking to make some sort of recommendations around policy improvements. And so the fact that this has in fact been scoped as an evaluation means that there will not likely be anything in the final report related to any kind of criminal misconduct, although there is always the possibility that if an OIG uncovers potential criminal misconduct, that they can make a referral to the Department of Justice.
And take us through the process a bit. How does the IG go about this evaluation, and how long could it potentially take?
So it's very hard to anticipate how long an evaluation can take. The fact that they've scoped it as an evaluation means that they can be more nimble than, for instance, an audit, which typically takes longer. They will start the work, and I'm sure move very quickly, given the public attention to the matter. A similar evaluation and review that they did last year involving Secretary Austin took about a year. I imagine they'll try to move more quickly with this one, but as you can imagine, as you get into the facts and begin working with people, things can take some time.
And we know this has gotten the attention of Congress as well. The Senate Armed Services Committee, I believe, was initially sent that letter that kind of started this whole process, and it hasn't just been Democrats, Republicans as well. Is there anything more they can actually do in terms of oversight if they are, in fact, growingly concerned about Hegseth's use of this Signal application?
Well, Congress does serve an important oversight function, and so they can do parallel work. They could certainly open their own investigation, but the fact that they've referred this to the OIG suggests to me that at least as of this point, they don't intend to do that. I do expect that they will monitor the OIG's evaluation very closely, and they may ask for status updates just to kind of keep things moving along quickly.
All right, let's say that the Inspector General does find some potential wrongdoing that maybe could even be criminal. I know you said that they wouldn't necessarily say that themselves, but what are the next steps there? Is it just kind of a report that goes out internally, externally? What could that look like?
So the final report will go out in draft to the Department of Defense for comment, but then ultimately it will be released to the public. Some portions of it could be redacted, but similar work has gone out in public form with limited redactions, and usually in a situation like this where there's great public interest, an OIG will try to write the report in a way so that the most amount of information can be provided to the public, and so that's what I expect to happen in this situation.
All right, Diana Shaw of Wiley Law and a former Inspector General of the State Department. Diana, thank you so much for your insights on this story.